So what happened is I tried to take this drain filter off the old hose, pretty long, so I tried to cut it, and then I managed to stab myself in the thumb. So now I've just been at the hospital and I got it stitched. It's all good. Gonna work without my thumb for a while. Welcome back to another episode of Sailing Vinderla. So, I got back from the hospital with 4 new stitches in my thumb and it was hurting a little bit, but I just covered it with a band-aid and put a glove on and learned from my mistake and decided to continue with the project of installing the automatic bilge pump. Since I could only buy 10 meters of hose, I decided to just change the whole hose all the way from the through-hull fitting and down to the bilge. To do this, I need to take out all the floorboards and the cushions and a lot of other boards and take out the mattress in the bed just to get access to everything. So I started dismantling basically everything from the bilge and all the way out. Taking off all the floorboards and cushions and all this material to get access to where I need to be is a bit tedious and takes some time. But it's going to be well worth it when I'm all finished with this project and I don't need to manually bilge after I shower. Now you can follow it. After taking off everything, I now had access to the whole hose, from the bilge and all the way out. I decided to start taking off the hose outside and then pull it through in and cut it into pieces and pull it out. The old hose was kind of old and rotten and it was very stuck. It took some time and effort to get it loose and get it out. After a while I got all the pieces out and that felt great. Then it was time to put on the new hose. I went outside to enter it from the cockpit locker and started pushing it all the way through. Then I went down below to receive it and start pulling it through. I hoped to get the whole hose through in one part, and that's what I tried to do at the beginning. It's just really hard to get the hose underneath the diesel tank. And here's the batteries and I can't access. And here's the water tank, the hot water tank. So it's just really hard to push it through, and it's supposed to come out here, but it's not straight, so it's almost impossible. Alright, so I just cut it outside and put it on. And I brought the other one here, and I'm gonna see if I can enter this way and then merge them in the middle instead. I decided to call it a day, and I tied it up all the way into the forepeak so it straightens up, because it was just impossible to guide it through. It would just bend any way I did it, so fuck it, let's try again tomorrow. The next day I got some very valuable help from my neighbor Anders. So with one person standing on one side, trying to guide the hose in an extremely awkward angle, I could sit and crouch on the other side and stretch my arm all the way in and use an extendable arm to try and grab the hose. The main problem here and the biggest challenge was that the hose was curved and very stiff. So it would always curve into the side, and it was very hard to make it actually go through that little hole. The hole was just barely fitting the hose. From either side it was an extremely awkward angle, and we could only use extendable arms and rods and whatever we had to try to guide the hose. We tried and failed a bunch of times until we eventually, luckily, got the hang of it and managed to push it through.
Okay.
Alright, so it's actually through, and it comes out here. Now I'm gonna cut it, and I'm gonna splice those two with this one-way valve, because that's my only option. But there's gonna be a one-way valve on the bilge pump as well, so I think that's no problem. So now finally, after so much jiggling and shit, the hose is in place from the through-hull all the way down to the bilge. So now I can finally start installing the bilge pump, which was gonna be the original task. But anyway, big thanks to my neighbor Anders. I actually could never do it on my own, and especially with one hand is super fucking hard. Peace. Here's the Y valve. I have to cut the top off, and then this hose goes to the submerged bilge pump, and this one goes to the regular bilge, the manual. So when I want to do manual, I switch it over. Now if I go out and pump, it will go through here, and then now it's an auto. Now I just need to figure out the wiring. Alright, so it's 11 o'clock, day 2 of the electric bilge pump project. Day 1 with the stitched thumb. Just got some help from Anders. The electrical stuff pre-wired, you can say. Pull the cables all the way to the panel board. But I need a switch, so I'll go and get that tomorrow. The hoses are a bit too stiff. Can't really bend them the way I want to bend them, so I need to get new hoses as well. So tomorrow is the day. But I got a lot done today. I got a new hose all the way from through-hull and down here, so that's really good. As you can see, now the pump is mounted. Cables are pulled. Don't worry, it's waterproof stuff. And this is the Y valve. Works well. But here is a bend. And this hose is so stiff, I can't really fix it. I need another hose, something like that. This is much more flexible. So if we can get something like this, that'd be great. Then that can run to the electric one, and also this one. It won't really go down, you know. It's also very stiff. So I went to the store and I got much more flexible hoses. So we'll see if this one works better. I hope so. Definitely looks like it. Alright guys, so I just installed the new hoses, and let me tell you, it's so much easier when you have quality stuff. So let me just show you. This one's way more flexible for the manual, and it goes all the way in. And unexpectedly, the automatic bilge pump, it got locked in place by the tension of this hose. So, and this bracket actually fit to hold that hose. So that seems to be the setup. So when I want to switch, I just switch here, and yeah, it goes out here. So now it's on the electric, and I'm gonna try to do the wiring. So here is the panel board. I'm gonna install another pull switch here with two steps. So one is auto and one is forced. I pull the cables. And yes, I know this is a mess, maybe, but I'm gonna clean it up at some point. I don't really know that much. I'm getting help to do this. So yeah, here's the cables for the bilge pump, plus and minus for auto, and one extra plus for override. Those are pulled all the way under the floor and up and out here. So now let's drill the hole. Now this goes in from the back side, and then the pull switch will be on the end. Like that. The hole is too small and I need to drill a bigger one. It's still too small. Darn it! Okay, so now it's in. It blends quite well with the rest, and just pull it out. On, forced on. Yeah.
Hvor kommer det vannet fra nå?
Fra dusjen.
Er det bare har dusjen på?
Ja.
Hei!
Jeg vet jo hvorfor han ikke...
Ja, vent litt, så ser vi. Ja, bare bryte litt.
Så bygge opp trykk eller noe. Der da. Her kommer den.
Keeps away.
Yes, it's very effective. Nei, men da bruker den bare et par sekunder. Så begynner den på nytt da.
Ja, vi får håpe det. Skal vi se hvor fort det går nå da, sånn på en måte nettopp har pumpa.
Okay, so we installed the pump, we did the wiring, we did the new hoses, and it's now in auto and it seems to work perfectly. It has a little time delay, so that's what confused us in the beginning, but now it seems to be all good. And I can have a shower without manually going out and bilging it. Thanks for watching! And thanks for the help, Anders, the technician, the engineer, the genius behind the spakes.
Spakes.
Levers.
If you're Norwegian, you will understand.
Yes, most people maybe are.
So I will get so pissed off if you put me on YouTube wearing this.
With what?